Hello and welcome to the last in my little vlog series. We started off the first vlog in the Abbey, which is a really big building in Grey Abbey, and it's run down, there's no roof, and we're finishing off in this big house in Grey Abbey. It's Rosemount Estate, roof very much still on, house is still inhabited by the family who planted it back in the plantation times, and I'm going to ask no better person than the gentleman who lives in it still, Mr. William Montgomery, and he's going to tell us some things just about the history of the house. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Neil. How are you?
So, could you tell me when your family moved to Grey Abbey?
They came here in 1606. Their main house was in the old Dominican Priory in Newtonards. You can see the ruined tower of the Priory Church still there.
So they moved down to...
No, and then the man who came was called Sir Hugh Montgomery, and he was a great friend of James I of Scotland, well, James I of England and 6th of Scotland. And when the king came to power, he obviously had a little bit of a problem of what was he going to do with these troublesome Scots who were lining up sort of saying, well, now Jimmy, you're in the big place, what's in it for us? So he thought, I'll send Sir Hugh to Northern Ireland, and Sir Hugh arrived in Newtonards, and his younger brother, who was called James, came down to Grey Abbey, and he arrived here in 1607. And if we look that way, we can see a stone.
Oh, in the garden, yeah, just... There we are, yeah.
That stone is all that remains of the first house that Sir James built.
Ah, very good.
Which was destroyed burnt down in the Great Rebellion in 1690.
Ah, right.
And another house was then built, which was burnt down accidentally. This house behind me was built in 1760, and we're very lucky it's still standing.
Yeah.
It was enlarged in about 1840 when my great-grandmother came here, and she had two things. She had a premonition that she'd have a lot of children, which was right. She had 8. And also, she brought a lot of money with her. And so she put an extra story on the house, which is hidden behind the balustrade that goes around the top of the house. Yes. And that gave her 8 more bedrooms. And she had 8 children, so the nurseries all went up there.
Oh, yeah. Build 8 rooms and fill them.
And filled them, exactly.
Very good. So you still live here, still work the estate?
We still live here and farm a bit, and I do other things too, as you know.
Tourists and people come for tea and bits and pieces, and anything to keep the
keep the roof on.
Keep it going. Well, thank you very much for giving us that insight. I'm actually now allowed to go inside, for there's something inside the house that I want to just concentrate on as we just close off this vlog series and around Grey Abbey, and there's something in the house that just I think will be interesting for us. So here we are just inside the house, a lovely hallway here and staircase. This is quite a big house, 35 rooms spread over 5 floors. And within those rooms and across those floors there are 14 or 15 bedrooms. And it made me think about the passage that Jesus taught in John 14. In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. Last week when I was in Garva, we talked about Lord Garva and the preparations he had made for his eternity in that tomb, in that pyramid. And I said we would concentrate on what Jesus has prepared for us. Jesus said he has gone into heaven to prepare a place for us. And if we even just look down this corridor, I've preached in that passage a number of times, and I've talked about, imagine going down a corridor and finding a door, a room with your name on it, a room that Jesus has prepared for you, your own personal, permanent dwelling place. And we're going to just swing around the corner here into one of the rooms. I think this was Bill's mum's room historically. And it's a lovely room. A lovely 4-poster bed. And I'll maybe move over. And we get a wee look around. Some nice paintings and just a lovely room. I could stay in a room like this all the time. Not that there's anything wrong with my house, but this is lovely. But as we think of what Jesus has prepared for us, Jesus has gone into heaven, a place that is perfect, and he has prepared a perfect place for us. This house is lovely, and there's many lovely rooms here, drawing rooms, dining rooms, sitting rooms, kitchens, bedrooms, bathrooms, some en-suites. It's all lovely. But this is nothing compared to what Jesus has prepared for us. And he has that prepared for you if you trust in him. If you're part of that great building process that we talked about over in the Abbey, if you're like an island that is connected to the main body, if you're someone who is keeping in step with the Spirit as we thought about the tide, if you're someone who is testing those spirits the way we thought about the salt water and the fresh water, and if you're taking that fresh water that Jesus promises as we looked at the well, if you're living your life to teach people about Jesus, and if you've made the right preparation, not the physical preparation, but the preparation of knowing Jesus, you live under that promise that in your Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, Jesus would have told us something different. I trust that you have the assurance there's a room with your name on it in heaven, a permanent, personal dwelling place for you. This is the last of these vlogs, and I do trust, as I've said a number of times, that you've been blessed by them, that you've just made connections to things around you. If you're not from Grey Abbey, if you're from another town, that you go and look for those connections to the things around you that you can connect into Scripture. And maybe we'll catch up again in the autumn time. If we have some more ideas about vlogs, we'll maybe throw them up again onto Facebook in the new church season in September. But until then, take care, God bless, and have a good summer.